Ni hao. Wo shi mei guo ran. Wow, your Chinese is so good! I hear this phrase just about every single day. I can say the simplest thing, and someone inevitably will tell me that my Chinese is really awesome. Now, when you hear this phrase every single day, one of two things can happen. Either you believe it, because if everyone says it, it must be true, right?
Yeah.
Or you don't believe it, because if everyone says it, you get a little suspicious that they're just being polite. Dear Toastmasters, have you ever had trouble trying to learn a foreign language?
No.
I'm sure you have. Well, today I'm going to share with you my story. I arrived in Beijing almost 2 years ago, and at that time I had already studied Chinese with language partners for about 2 years. And so I thought I was set to go. I have enough to get started, and all I have to do is listen to the radio and talk in the stores, and no problem, I'll pick it up easy. Is that how it happened? When I got off the plane, the first thing I needed was a SIM card for my cell phone. So I walked up to the kiosk and I told them in my best, most accurate Chinese possible, 我要一个 SIM 卡. What? Whoa, 慢慢说. Slow down. Even when he did speak a little slower, it sounded something like this. I didn't understand a single word. All that partner language, all that textbooks, all those, that didn't do me any good. It's useless. Well, I tried for weeks, months, and every single time I tried listening to the radio or going into a store, I would still hear. Eventually, I got tired, so I had to adapt and create some new methods, because clearly textbooks weren't working for me. And so what did I have? Did I have a gun so I could take what I needed? Did I have, probably, I was mad, but not that mad. Did I have a girlfriend who could translate for me?
Yes.
No, sadly, I never had a girlfriend in China. I had something even better. I had a voice recorder. And so, the next time I was at dinner with a friend, and he was calling the waiter over to get some food. And he said, I recorded him. Yes. And when I went home, I played it in slow motion. And it sounded something like, 服务员，请给我2分. But because I was in Beijing, it actually sounded something more like, 服务员，请给我2分. This method helped me to improve my pronunciation. It also helped me to improve my listening comprehension, because I wasn't studying stale, boring sentences written in textbooks with a bunch of vocabulary that I don't care about. I was studying how real people were talking, the things that they were actually telling me. And so that's how I was able to learn and perfect my Chinese. However, did my troubles end there? Of course not. I continued to make mistake after mistake after mistake over the course of 2 years. And I'm going to share with you a few of those mistakes that I made. The best ones, in my opinion. The first one is, I was leaving my house, and I was talking to my friend on the phone, and I was saying that I had just left my apartment. But what I actually said was, 我刚刚出家. It took me a few minutes to wonder why she wasn't answering. The second mistake I made was that I was with my girlfriend in Taiwan, and she took something from me, and I was jokingly trying to call her a thief. But what I actually said was, 你是偷人. The best mistake I ever made was because I didn't... Sometimes there's a difference in usage between words in Taiwan and China. And so when I was telling one of my female friends that she was doing very well, what I actually said was, 你干得很好. It took me a few minutes to understand her face. So, I have made my share of mistakes to the point where I'm not even afraid of making mistakes anymore. And neither should you, because once you get past that fear of making mistakes, then you are free to talk, and people will eventually understand you, and the mistakes become fun, as long as your friends understand it too, of course. So, in conclusion, please, please, please do not compliment my Chinese. One thing that I noticed about the foreigners that are completely fluent in Chinese to the point where they can read newspapers is that nobody compliments their Chinese. Nobody tells them their Chinese is really good. They are not the English speakers who are struggling to learn Chinese. They are the Chinese speakers who already use Chinese as their normal form of communication, and everyone takes it for granted. And that is my goal. So I know the day that I am truly fluent will not be the day that everyone tells me my Chinese is so good. It'll be the day that no one tells me my Chinese is so good. Because on that day, I will truly be the native, or at least native level speaker of Chinese. And that is my goal. And so from here on out, I am just going to continue to improve even more. And eventually, I might even start saying, 我是米格朗 contest chair.